Hey there, Jeff Teper from Microsoft, and I am thrilled to welcome you to Teams Nation. This is an incredible community event, and it's so great to be back with all of you. There's so much going on around Microsoft Teams and the connected ecosystem, so we are thrilled that our customers and our partners are getting together to share the latest roadmap and best practice. And we've prepared a little bit of an update for you about what's coming, and I'm excited to share that with you all.
Teams is really a product that's designed just for the hybrid workplace, that we bring together all the modalities of synchronous communication in meetings with real-time audio video, asynchronous communications, working together with document collaboration and chats and channels, and letting you work in the same place together. You could be in a meeting room, but also you could work in a very distributed way from anywhere. And you see, this isn't just about software with Teams. We're also working very hard on the hardware experience, both for the in-room participants and the remote experiences. So this is a great experience. And again, this is not a new framework. This has been around for a while. But I think we're advancing the state of the art in a really unique way at Microsoft with the work we're doing in Teams. And Teams, as you've seen us over the last 4 or 5 years, has really expanded to be the strategic platform for productivity in Microsoft 365. It is that digital fabric that connects all the people and projects and conversations and employees and topics and so forth inside and outside their organization. And it's not just for information workers. In fact, you probably saw recently, we announced the next round of investments to empower frontline workers with Microsoft Teams, all connected to this common digital fabric. And what makes it unique is that we bring all the core communications tools in one place. I think there's no other product in the industry that brings meetings and chats and calls and document collaboration and automation workflow in a single simple framework, and as well lets you integrate your own applications and applications from third parties. So pretty clear, stable strategy for Teams, and I think a big reason why it's been adopted is that simplicity. So let's talk about some of the specifics. We want to make sure that you can stay in the flow of the work before, during, and after meeting to make meetings more productive, but also make sure that you don't have to attend every meeting, that you can catch up with what's going on afterwards. So we showcased a number of new things recently, like collaborating on an agenda. Best meetings have a clear agenda. Collaborating on notes, people keep track of notes. These are powered by our new fluid or loop-based technologies. Our new really rich interactive whiteboard, which you can use both inside and outside the meeting. And what's coming is more and more capabilities to recap or summarize the slides, the content, the notes in the meetings. Again, so you can go back a few weeks later and see what happened. But also so you don't have to attend every meeting that you've been invited to. You can manage your time a lot better. So that's just some of the focus we've got around the workflow around meetings. Once you're in the meeting, we want to give you a much more engaging experience. And so you've seen the work we've done with Together Mode, where you can break down the silos from people and have a more fun, engaging experience. We've introduced and invested in PowerPoint Live, and we've got more coming there to help both the presenter with their notes, but also participants browse around the deck, add annotations to the slides, and so forth. We've got presenter views, so you can look more polished and control the balance between the content and your own video feed, and then all sorts of different screen layouts and ability to customize that. Because you could be on a wide range of devices, small screens, widescreen, multi-monitors, and so forth. So a lot of capabilities to make meetings more inclusive and also reduce fatigue in meetings. You know, more work we're doing in Teams, of course, in the asynchronous space where people are having conversations via chats and channels. And so we've really streamlined the UI so that you can have more fun reactions. It's more clear what you're replying to versus creating a new post. You can pin conversations, search for all things inside Teams, and especially chats and channels has gotten a lot better lately, and we're doing more and more with machine learning. So we're really excited about the experiences coming for asynchronous communication. But one of the biggest things we announced at Ignite was the ability to streamline communications outside your company with Teams Connect. This is this idea that's built into SharePoint, built into Teams, so that two organizations can share a common channel and see it within their native Teams experience. So I can see all my internal channels as well as one shared outside, and that same thing on the other connecting side. So this is just, a simple video showing some of the things that are going on with people from two different companies communicating on a common shared channel. We think it's really on top of all the B2B capabilities in Teams in Microsoft 365, going to be a big breakthrough in how people collaborate across organizations in a secure and controlled way. And that's all backed by this capability called Teams Connect. And we're really excited that in the first quarter of the calendar year, we're going to go to preview with it and hope to see a lot of adoption and broad feedback, and then ship it shortly thereafter. So that's Teams Connect and shared channels. We're, of course, expanding the capabilities of Teams to more seamlessly integrate parts of Microsoft 365. And one of my favorite milestones we reached is integrating templates across Teams and SharePoint and the Power Platform. I'd known this for years working on SharePoint, that people want to build a template. Here's what a sales website looks like, and you stamp out the next 10 sales teams. But with Teams coming together with the rest of SharePoint and Microsoft 365, people want to do that not just for documents and pages, but conversations and scheduled meetings and applications. And so we've now got a common templating model that transcends Teams and other Microsoft 365 resources, so you can build repeatable collaborative processes more easily. And so that slide showed a basic project management. And of course, we want to do more and more to make it easier to work with those artifacts in SharePoint. We've done that for files, we've done that for lists, and now we're doing it with pages. Where of course, you can open the link to the browser and work with SharePoint like you always have, but now you can be able to edit those pages right within the Microsoft Teams experience and stay within the flow. So again, each of those applications in Microsoft 365, we're going to make great standalone and streamlined, but also integrated in the flow hosted in Teams. And that's not just going to be limited to what we do in Microsoft 365. Increasingly, people want the services from Teams in their business applications. So I'm really excited here that we're going to do more and more with capabilities to embed Teams in custom solutions. And of course, we'll start with Dynamics, and you can see a customer service omni-channel solution here from the Dynamics team that is embedded right within that experience, the Teams calling and chat capabilities. So it's going to go both ways. We're going to integrate applications in Teams, and we're going to integrate Teams in those other applications, and the work we're doing with Dynamics is just a start. But the real breakthrough for us is the work we're doing with Microsoft Mesh. This is where we're taking immersive meeting experiences to the next level. We're using 3D avatars that you can use also within a traditional 2D meeting experience. But really, this becomes incredibly powerful when you can create a 3D scene that's a custom meeting size with tables and artifacts from your company and whiteboards. And so we're going to have, as you see in this video, both those avatar experiences and the immersive experiences, where here we're showing a room with multiple subrooms, and you can see the applications from Microsoft 365 on the walls, PowerPoints, whiteboards. You can see, some artifacts that they put in there, and you can interact with people. It's really going to be a breakthrough, and I'm very excited, to sort of this experience with Mesh is going to work both on a traditional desktop PC, so you can just jump on your existing device, hosted and running inside Teams, but it's going to be unbelievable when you have a headset on, and you'll be able to mix and match that with different participants. So incredibly excited about what's coming this year with Mesh for Teams. I am incredibly excited to show you the newest innovation in content collaboration, which is Microsoft Loop. This is collaborating on components in pages contained in workspaces, with components in chats and in emails. Really exciting vision we've got for breaking through in more seamless and fun collaboration. And we created this video to give you a sense of what the Loop experience will look like. So let's take a look. So that's Microsoft Loop. We're really excited to bring that to market in the coming months. Thank you so much. We really appreciate the bet you've made on Microsoft to help you transform for the hybrid workplace. I hope you see that we're innovating faster than ever. We are very grateful to be part of the best community in technology and very much look forward to seeing you in person in the not too distant future.
Thank you for coming to Teams Nation.
Hello, Paul. You might want to turn to unmute.
Apologies. Brilliant. Hello and welcome everyone out there to Teams Nation 2022. My name's Paul Dredge and I don't know how to use a mute button, but welcome today. I'm going to be taking you through today's keynote and going through a few things, a little bit about the housekeeping, and then going to some of the other organisers where we're going to be doing a bit of Q&A with them around what they're excited around Microsoft Teams and throughout today. Just want to say a massive thank you to Jeff for that great insight into some of the things up and coming around Microsoft Teams. a real good thing that he was talking about was around the hybrid workplace. And it's very topical at the minute with everyone out there across the world with how we're working today. We've seen a huge change in trend of how we're working from remote to hybrid. And I just want to pull up some real cool things that I read last night, just last minute preparations last night around a work trend that Microsoft have done very, very recently. So some of these things that you can think about throughout the day as you're watching sessions and got these playing around in your mind is around how people are feeling about hybrid work. So 38% of people and employees out there are not sure when they should and shouldn't go into the office. And we're seeing a huge increase in meetings. And this is phenomenal because, I mean, like me, I'm sure everyone out there, you just find yourself in meeting after meeting and, where's the time to get the work done? So there's been a huge increase in the past 2 years of a 252% of weekly time spent in meetings. And I think if we just keep those things at the front of our minds today, as you're there in sessions, learning about teams, hearing some of these great people we've got speaking today, and just think about how you can take those back to your workplace or so on. But that's enough about that. Let's talk about Teams Nation, what we're all here today for. I just want to say that Teams Nation has come a huge amount of time from where it first started. This is the 5th Teams Nation. Yes, our 5th one. And it's coming, like I said, it's come a long way. So it very first started, and I remember speaking to Chris last year before Teams Nation last year, where he told me it started with him and Adam texting each other, talking about how they could develop from where they began and doing their first event. I won't go into all the names and things like that. There are videos out there on YouTube you can go and watch to find out about how that first started. But it's just phenomenal to see where it's started from in someone's kitchen, that conversation, hey, should we do an event? Oh, yeah, let's do an event. It sounds like a good idea. To how we're here today for our 5th one with over 5,000 people attending this virtual online event. So as some of you may know, as some of you may not know, Teams Nation is a user group that's ran by the community for the community. We pride ourselves in being 100% free and 100% for the people out there. As I said, we have got 5,000 people joining us here today. And there was a tweet that went out yesterday from Kevin McDonald, which he tweeted, and I think this is quite fitting. He tweeted that the Microsoft world out there is saying they don't want online events. But then along comes Teams Nation, and we're here with a record number of people attending. So we just pause there and just think how things have changed from in-person to online to how people are starting to want to go back into that in-person event. Whereas we're here today with this event that anyone across the world can join, no costs involved for you to join, and we're hitting massive amounts of people out there. So I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone out there that is joining us today, every attendee that has signed up and registered today to join Teams Nation. As I said, we are a user group community. So if you go through today and you've never spoken at an event or anything like that before, then if you do want to come along to our user groups, maybe your first time speaking, maybe you want to practice some, then you can check us out at teamsnation.rocks, where you can find out how to join our user group sessions and so on. I think I need to say a big thank you to all our speakers that are joining us today, because without speakers, events wouldn't happen. And without the amazing speakers that we have lined up for you today, this event wouldn't be so amazing. So I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone out there that did submit a talk, a session, and just want to say a massive thank you for everyone that is attending today and every speaker. So please do take the time when you are attending the sessions to acknowledge that they're taking time out of their busy schedules, their days, to speak to you, share their knowledge, share what they know about them, the technology that they're talking about today. And we have such a diverse range of sessions today. And I think this is what makes Teams Nation so great. So although Teams Nation is all around Microsoft Teams, we do incorporate the whole of the Microsoft 365 stack. And we even go further than that. So we've got sessions from people talking about being a parent and balancing that work-home lifestyle, all the way through to building bots and apps using the Power Platform. So I think we have sessions that fits everyone, no matter what your interests are around Microsoft technologies. I think you will find the perfect sessions for you today. And if we just talk a little bit around the sessions, the tracks, and so on, and how you can join them. So we have 13 different tracks today. So we have our adoption and governance, security and compliance, productivity, meetings and callings, education and community, build and extend, devices and spaces, and then we do have 2 Power Platform tracks. So Power Platform 1 and nicely named Power Platform 2. We have our SharePoint, OneDrive, Yammer, and Stream. We have our different tracks where we have our Teams Nation France, Teams Nation Spain, Teams Nation Germany. And then we also have our Community Lounge, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a minute. So as I said, we have a lot of stuff going on today here at Teams Nation. We have 140 sessions, 112 hours of content, and we have 17 moderators working across our different tracks. Obviously, trying to tune in and watch all those, you probably aren't going to be able to do all in one go. So please do take some time to look at the schedule and work out how you're going to attend sessions, what sessions you want to attend. You have 2 options, really. You can choose one track and you can stick to that track and stay in that room and watch session after session. Or you can mix and match and you can choose different sessions from different tracks. Entirely up to you how you plan your day, but do take some consideration to have a look at those different sessions and do your top picks. Just want to say a big thank you. As I said, we have our French, Spanish, and German tracks today. So I say a big thank you to our community partners out there who make that possible. So as you know, Teams Nation is a worldwide event. We want to include everyone out there in the world. So we set these specific tracks to make sure we are reaching out to the wider audience. I just want to say a huge thank you to the people that make that possible for us today. And as we're on thank yous, I want to say a thank you to all our moderators. As many of you know, it takes a lot of effort to run one of these virtual events. And without the moderators helping us today, giving up their free time as well, these sessions and these talks and this event would not be able to run as smoothly as it does. So a big thank you to all those moderators out there. If you are in a room and you get stuck or you're having trouble or you don't know how to go off to a different session or anything like that, you need help, then please do reach out to those moderators because we'll have a moderator in every room today. And just going back a little bit to how you can join the different sessions. As I said, we have these 2 options around whether you stay in one track or whether you join different sessions throughout the day. To view our sessions, you can go to our event hub, or you can look at your calendar invite. And in your calendar invite, you can pick out the different rooms because the links will be in that calendar invite. Or if you want to, you can go to our Teams Nation home site. And again, our schedule is on there and you have direct links to the different rooms. So please do spend some time to look at the schedule, look at your events and see which one you want to join. If at any point throughout the day, you want to take a little break, you want to chat to people, you want to get to know people, then do check out our virtual lounge. This will be running from 9 o'clock till 8 o'clock throughout the day. So it will be available all day. You can go and check that out. If you're in a session and you've got some really good questions and the conversation's going with the speaker in that session, and you want to take that conversation a little bit further, the speaker may agree to go to that virtual lounge and you can go and speak to them and carry on that conversation. So please do check that out. Also, we have our after party happening later on today. So again, you've seen the video around it. We'll have some more details on it, but do go and check out that after party later on if you do want to come together and celebrate the great day you've had here at Teams Nation. So we've done our housekeeping. We've made sure people know what they're doing, how to get to those different places, done our thank yous. But let's go on to now look at some key themes for us for 2022. Because I think that it's really important for the organisers here at Teams Nation to speak to you guys a little bit about what we're seeing, what we're looking forward to, and so on. So our first thing we want to talk about then is Teams. So yes, Teams Nation has its 5th event, which nicely fits in to Teams being its 5 years old. On the 14th of March in 2017, Teams was launched by Microsoft. So today, we are celebrating Teams being 5 years old. Teams has come a long way since then, and we're now seeing 270 million active monthly users, which is an astonishing amount of active users. I'm going to invite Adam to the stage now, and I'm going to ask Adam some questions. We're going to do a little bit of conversation around Teams because he wants to celebrate Teams being 5 years old. Hello, Adam. How are you today?
Hello, Paul. Always great here. I mean, it's a great day. Looking forward to, so absolutely.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, so as you know, Adam, Teams is 5 days. That's 5 days, 5 years old today, which is an incredible milestone, and it's had a massive impact on all of us over those 5 years. Why do you think Teams has been so successful?
I think this is due to several factors, I believe. And I mean, first of all, Teams is a great product, and that matters, of course. And then, of course, there's a lot of functionality in Teams. And I mean, with so many third-party integrations, including custom applications as well, I think organizations see a benefit to use Teams and closely related workloads to decrease cost, simplify management, increase security, and of course have users work in a modern way with modern tools. Also, since Teams is replacing Skype for Business Online, I think many organizations got this natural transition into using Teams as well. And lastly, I think, of course, the pandemic played a major role here as well, with so many organizations having to shift over to remote work, and Teams does help out here a lot, right? And I mean, there are many other reasons as well, but these are the kind of the main ones I can think of as of now.
Amazing, thank you, Adam. And as an advocate of Microsoft Teams, and I've seen sessions with yourself before where you've shared your tips and tricks of Teams. So what are some of the best features that you think that Teams has?
I mean, there are so many features, and I use a lot of them. But some I can recommend actually is I use the Tasks app in Teams a lot, and I usually see people don't use that very often as well. So I recommend having a look at the Tasks app in Teams to kind of get an overview of your to-do tasks and planner tasks. And of course, if you are not yet using Microsoft To Do, I really recommend going in and start using Microsoft To Do. And of course, then also kind of use the Tasks app in Teams, right? Also, for larger organizations with some kind of frontline worker teams, I recommend having a look at the task publishing feature that, yet again, I see a lot of organizations don't even know what that is or haven't had a look at it at all. It's basically a feature to publish and track tasks from a centralized perspective. So please have a look at that in the case you are a little bit of a larger organization, using some sort of frontline worker teams and so on. And of course, I just want to quickly mention shared channels coming out now in public preview, right? And we have a session on that later as well.
Brilliant stuff. Okay, so Teams now has 270 million monthly active users, as already mentioned. I've got a couple of questions just to ask you. So, obviously, how far do you think it can go? Do you think we'll reach that 300 million active users? And also, Teams is now in its 5th birthday. So, how far do you think it can go? As in, what more can Teams do for us?
I mean, yeah, it's incredible numbers that we see, and we will definitely see the numbers go up further, of course, maybe in a slightly slower pace than before. But I don't doubt Microsoft can reach 300 millions within the year, but time will tell about that. I mean, there's Teams already do so much, but of course it will be able to do so much more as well, right? We will see a huge boost with the new Teams client when that is released in terms of faster and less resource demanding client. And also with the possibilities to remediate some of the long running requests like multi-accounts and so forth. Of course, we will see new functionality added to Teams over time, but what I want to see is improvement of the existing functionality and features within Teams.
Brilliant stuff. And then one final question for you, Adam. If you could do your 3 top picks for today on what sessions people should attend.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we have slide for that as well. 3 quick ones here. We have Megan and Lorian Strand with kind of a how to successfully measure success with Microsoft Teams, right? And then we have Drew Medlong. I mentioned shared channels. He's doing a session on shared channels as well in room 3. And then we have Amanda, Linus, and Morten doing a table talk about the latest and greatest of Microsoft Teams. 3 quick ones. I recommend have a look at them.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Adam.
Thank you.
I'd like to welcome Vesku now to the stage, because Vesku is going to talk to us a little bit about the metaverse. Hello, Vesku. How are you today?
Hello, Paul. I'm extremely excited today. This is a kind of a culmination of many months in planning and getting the event ready and seeing Jeff's incredible video in the beginning and everything. And you're hosting that's superb. So it's a very, very exciting day. And of course, you just brought up a very, very exciting topic to the table as well.
Brilliant stuff. So they call you Mr. Metaverse, I hear. Obviously, we heard about Microsoft Mesh and what's coming within Teams and saw some screenshots. But when can we find out more about the metaverse?
Yeah, I think about the metaverse, you can already find out a lot of information. There are so many blogs. Well, my personal blog is now called My Metaverse Day, for example, but there are huge number of blogs, huge number of webinars happening about the metaverse. And we also know some other companies that are calling themselves Meta something. And so you can find about the metaverse. And of course, I think people are really interested about Mesh for Teams. And expecting, okay, when we can see this, we are seeing now, when we can join the metaverse directly through Teams. And Microsoft announced that at the last Ignite at November, that we are going to be seeing that at the age of this half a year. So basically, I think it should be end of June. I'm hoping we will be seeing more, because there was just one Jeff Teper's tweet during February that they are already designing the metaverse in the metaverse, and that was really exciting. So I'm having my fingers crossed that it's going to be out there on time and we can enter the preview during the summer.
Amazing. Very, very excited for that, because it's a whole new world, isn't it, out there for us to look into. So while we're waiting for that, what can we do today then around Microsoft Mesh and Teams?
You can do quite a lot, and I'm going to expand your question to the metaverse part, because if we talk about the Microsoft Metaverse, you are actually doing a lot. What you are really missing is just the Mesh for Teams part or Microsoft Mesh part. So you could be starting planning, you could be starting to build how you are going to build those digital twins, how you are connecting the real world to the virtual ones, using spatial anchors, for example. You could be using the Power Platform with the mixed reality, create mixed reality applications. But of course, you could be testing out Mesh with HoloLens 2 if you have access to one, and you can try the Mesh preview app. But I think the most exciting stuff about the metaverse now, what to do today, is of course you can use Altspace VR, and we have that incredible after party going on in the metaverse, or in kind of a small version of the metaverse in Altspace. But that's the first thing you should experience if you haven't experienced that before.
Amazing. And I'm very excited for that later on today. So be sure to join us in our after party in the metaverse, as Vesku says. Okay, so for people who haven't really experienced the metaverse yet, then, why is it so important, and why should they be interested?
Well, I think one of the big things is that it's going to change a lot when it rolls out. It's going to give us new options, how we are collaborating with people, how we are meeting people, and especially thinking about the hybrid world. We all know why we need change, because the last 2 years has been we have lots of 2D meetings in Teams, and so it's kind of meeting fatigue is coming up, and you can't really have that kind of interaction or spontaneous interaction you could do in the 3D world and in the metaverse. And that's one of the key things, and Teams is going to make it so easy so you can join the space, interact with people, create those kind of a new kind of breakout rooms within the metaverse just by walking to someone. So that's something we are getting a kind of a small experience in our space, but we are also kind of going to see more of that. And I think the thing is really that because we are connecting the real and virtual worlds together, they are converging and they are going to be building up things there. It's going to open up new business possibilities, new business models, processes, bringing automation there. So in a kind of short way of saying, I really like this Satya Nadella's quote that in the next 10 years, we are going to be seeing more digital transformation than in the past 40. So that's a big thing. And on top, why you should be interested is the diversity and inclusion. So we can be there. We don't have to have a camera on. We have on our avatar. We can express ourselves. So we don't have to think about that part like, okay, how do we look or is there something about that? And we can be more immersive there and with the automatic translations and stuff. So that's why I'm really excited because it will empower really everyone if we kind of go that way.
Amazing stuff. So you heard it there from Mr. Metaverse himself, why you should be excited and why you should be looking forward to what's coming on the horizon. One final question for you then, Vesku. What 3 sessions are you looking forward to today?
Well, of course, I'm looking forward for these metaverse sessions because that's really something that resonates with me. With Ivan Tilka, it's kind of a session where you're thinking about creating the extended reality parts. You can use Power Apps, Power Automate, so low-code part of there, using the holograms. There's Unity stuff included, so everything like that. So I'm really looking forward to see her session, and of course the talk about mixed reality and mesh and metaverse with Joel Olson, because kind of bringing in more ideas how people are experiencing that. I love those table talk kind of topics or round tables, going through that. And of course, Andreas Urban session, Foundations of the Metaverse. I mentioned Azure and spatial anchors, and hey, do I need to say more? Connecting the real world to the physical one and to the virtual one and getting that up and running. So definitely my 3 picks in the metaverse topic. Of course, there are a huge number of sessions, so I had to limit myself to the specific team when picking these up.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Vesku. So if you want to learn more about the metaverse, there are Vesku's 3 top ones to go and check out today. So please do go and check those out. And then finally, I'd like to welcome Matti to the stage, because Matti's going to be talking to us a little bit about well-being today. Hello, Matti. How are you today?
Hello, Paul. I'm good. Excited about the upcoming day after party, everything what's happening around Teams Nation today. So really looking forward to the sessions, after party, meeting with people, having chats and everything.
Amazing stuff. So I've got some questions for you around well-being, and the first one's around Microsoft Viva. So obviously Viva has been designed for the employee experience, and it now stands at 10 million monthly active users. Do you think it's been given the success of what it should be for what's happened through the pandemic? Do you think it should be having more or less? So how do you feel that Viva stands today?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So when I first saw the numbers, I think these should be higher, but I think Viva is. Then I thought that Viva is actually quite new product, and I see that as an opportunity for educating users, educating organizations, how you can benefit for the employee experience tools, digital tools to help out your day. So really seeing huge growth with Viva as well.
Brilliant. So do you think that Microsoft are being, they're taking well-being seriously? Now that many users are going back to the office, we saw Jeff's talk at the beginning around hybrid work and some of the stuff Microsoft are doing there. So do you think that well-being is, is it now important for whatever we do in work?
I would say well-being is really important wherever you are working. So I would say that going to the office is not solving anything around well-being. And I see, of course, it's responsibility for the managers, line managers, but I also see that we really need to take care of each other as well. So ask your colleague how he's doing, have a chat on the water cooler or online with Teams or in the future in the mesh. So just bring the great feeling. Using these probably, as we see here, Viva Insights features like praising others and stuff like that. So I see well-being is really a benefit for the organizations that they are taking care of their employees.
Brilliant, amazing stuff. So obviously you've got an experience of using the well-being functionality in Microsoft Teams. So it'd be good to learn a little bit about your experience, and then for you to share your top 3 tips that people can use today that are out there joining us.
Yeah, well, I have been using Viva Insights since it was launched. Really happy with it. When new features came in, I'm actually a fan of virtual commute. I'm actually using that almost daily. It reminds me that maybe you should stop your working day and kind of teaching yourself a habit when you're working, for example, remotely at home, that you should really stop working and continue to your family or private life and stop there. For the 3 tips, I think this is more also well-being and productivity. So I would say first that master your calendar. So reserve those slots where you can actually do the work. So not having just meetings all the time, just reserve the slots, do the work. Also fix up those working hours there, so other colleagues can see that when they can reserve meetings with you. For example, I'm using that a lot, that I'm actually starting my day early and working a couple of hours before actually having slots for meetings. So I can start my day and also end my day kind of a more relaxed way. And third tip is, if you are using Teams Mobile, use those quiet hours, quiet days. You don't want to have those notifications over the weekend. Just have a relaxing time and time of work.
Amazing. Thank you very much for sharing your top tips there around well-being and Microsoft Teams. One final question for you then, Matti. What 3 sessions are you looking forward to today?
Well, I actually got a T3 session from various topics. So because adoption of, for example, Viva is important, but we also need data to support the adoption side. So that's why I chose Viva's session. Of course, I'm fan of Viva. Ally.io is coming to Microsoft Viva family sometime soon. So I would like to see more how Ally.io is working. And of course, security is always important. And that is a kind of a specific topic from Ru and Kat that I haven't had time to really focus on. So I will just watch that session and learn more. So that is all about Teams Nation, that we are learning new things easily available for us. And we have then resources to look at them more deeply.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Matti, for sharing information around well-being and your top picks. Also, a big thank you to Vesku and Adam as well for theirs. Okay, guys, just before we all disappear off to our rooms and get ready to join our sessions, just want to highlight some things. So please do today participate in the sessions. Use the chat, make the speakers, feel part of the session. So please do use that chat to participate, ask questions, give thumbs up, use the reactions and so on throughout the sessions. It'd be great to have the speakers leaving, feeling the love of the people out there from Teams Nation. Also, please do complete the feedback forms. These will be linked in the chat throughout sessions. Please, we do ask you to fill those out because, as 5 years old as an event, we can always improve, we can always grow, and it's great to hear what people think around what they're watching, what they're tuning into, and the organization of the event. And then one final thing to think about is social. We would love to see Teams Nation being shouted about all over social media, whether that's Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, any other social media platform out there. It would be great to hear that. So please do use that hashtag Teams Nation, make lots of noise, make people that aren't here today joining us want to come and join us. because we've got so many great speakers lined up today that I think it'd be a shame that people aren't there joining in. So please do share the love, shout out on social media today as much as possible as you can. Okay, so we've gone through some of this stuff today, the housekeeping. We've heard from some of the event organisers and so on. Just before we do disappear, as we know, that there's a lot happening in the world out there, and we are truly grateful for everyone joining us today with what's happening out there today. We have a short video to share with you today around some of the stuff that's happening. As you know, Teams Nation is an international event. We want to include everyone out there in the world. But there's some people that may not be able to join us today because of things that are happening in their country. So we want to say, as Team Nation, we stand with you, Ukraine, and we do not believe in war. We have a quick video to show you, to show our appreciation to the people of Ukraine and giving you ways of how you can help today by donating to different causes if you can. That's all from me. Enjoy your day, and thank you very much.